I remember coming home to find my favorite armchair shredded to pieces. My cat, Luna, looked at me with zero regret. Buying a cat tree seemed like the easy fix, but after 3 wobbly, cheap disasters that Luna ignored or tipped over, I was exhausted. Finding the perfect balance of stability, entertainment, and durability is an absolute nightmare. Today, I'm sharing the definitive ranking of the top 5 cat trees on the market. One of these completely transformed my living room, but you'd be surprised which popular brand actually disappointed me. Let's dive in. 5. PAWZ Roadflower Cat Tree. When I first unboxed the PAWZ Cat Tree, I was genuinely excited about its unique aesthetic. Most cat furniture is incredibly dull, looking like bulky chunks of beige carpet that clash with modern home decor. This piece, however, stands out beautifully with its vibrant flower-shaped perches and a charming green and pink color palette. It really looks like a whimsical piece of art rather than a standard pet accessory. I placed it right next to my living room window, fully expecting it to become my cat's new favorite lounging spot while offering a lovely pop of color to the room. The tree comes with a cozy hammock at the bottom, fully wrapped sisal scratching posts, and a teasing toy dangling from the top flower. Initially, the sisal rope felt quite sturdy to the touch, and the plush material covering the floral perches was surprisingly soft. I spent about 40 minutes putting it together, which felt a bit longer than necessary due to some misaligned pre-drilled holes in the base plate. Still, once assembled, it looked absolutely adorable, and I was eager to see how it would handle daily use from an active, curious feline eager to climb and scratch. Unfortunately, the aesthetic appeal quickly lost its charm once the real-world testing began. As soon as my cat confidently leaped onto the top flower perch, the entire structure wobbled violently. The base is simply not wide or heavy enough to support the height of the tree, especially for an adult cat making sudden, energetic movements. I found myself holding my breath every time she jumped up, terrified the whole thing was going to tip over and crash into my nearby plants. 4. Globlazer Heavy Duty Cat Tree. The marketing for this product leans heavily into its structural integrity, promising a robust, unshakable fortress for larger breeds like Maine Coons or particularly athletic cats. Visually, it has a very commanding industrial presence, featuring oversized support pillars and a broad, thick base plate that immediately gave me more confidence than the previous model. The multi-level design includes spacious platforms, a deep hammock, and a large scratching area designed to withstand serious wear and tear. Assembly was a completely different beast compared to lighter models. The components are undeniably hefty, and moving the box alone required some serious effort. However, the instruction manual was incredibly frustrating, featuring vague diagrams and poorly labeled hardware packets that led to me assembling the middle tier backward on my first attempt. Once I finally got it securely bolted together, it lived up to its heavy-duty name. You can physically push this tree with a fair amount of force, and it barely moves, providing an incredibly safe climbing environment for cats who love to launch themselves at full speed. However, while the structural frame is impressively rock solid, the finishing materials leave a lot to be desired. The fabric covering the platforms feels uncomfortably thin and rough to the touch, lacking the dense, luxurious padding you expect to find on a piece of pet furniture of this scale. Within just the first 2 weeks of my cat aggressively digging her claws in before taking a nap, I noticed the fabric starting to pill and stretch. More disappointingly, the sisal rope wrapped around the massive pillars isn't glued down tightly enough, causing it to loosen and sag after repeated scratching sessions. 3. Sweetcrispy Cat Tree Tower. Standing tall with multiple interactive levels, this tree is designed to be a comprehensive playground and resting area. It features 2 spacious condos, multiple viewing platforms, strategically placed scratching posts, and engaging dangling toys. Right out of the box, the first thing I noticed was how incredibly soft the plush fabric was. It felt like premium fleece, vastly superior to the thin materials on lower-ranked models, making it instantly inviting. The layout of this cat tree is remarkably intuitive, catering perfectly to a cat's natural desire to climb and observe their territory from a high vantage point. The 2 condos are generously sized, providing excellent, dark hiding spots for cats who want a private place to sleep without feeling cramped. My cat immediately gravitated toward the upper condo, which quickly became her favorite afternoon retreat. The tiered progression from the floor to the top platform is spaced perfectly, allowing even less athletic or older cats to navigate their way to the summit without needing to make awkward, difficult jumps. During my testing, the scratching posts proved to be wonderfully durable. They are tightly wrapped in thick, natural sisal rope that easily withstood my cat's most aggressive morning scratching routines. Unlike my previous experiences with cheap sisal unraveling, these posts maintained their tight coils perfectly over months of continuous use. Furthermore, the base is surprisingly well engineered. While it isn't quite as massively heavy as an industrial-grade model, the weight distribution is incredibly smart, resulting in zero tipping or leaning when my cat sprinted up the side of it. What makes the Sweetcrispy Cat Tree truly stand out is the sheer value it provides. It packs an enormous amount of functionality, entertainment, and supreme comfort into a very reasonable footprint that doesn't overwhelm a living room. 2. Feandrea Cat Tree. Feandrea has built a massive reputation in the pet furniture world, and this towering 61-inch structure completely justifies that hype. It is an absolute mansion for felines, boasting 2 incredibly plush top perches, 2 roomy sleeping caves, a deeply recessed fluffy basket, and a multitude of thick scratching posts. The aesthetic is sleek, modern, and surprisingly elegant, blending seamlessly into my home decor rather than sticking out like a sore thumb. The assembly process for a tree of this size could easily be a nightmare, but Feandrea provides exceptionally clear, step-by-step instructions with individually labeled parts that made putting it together an absolute breeze. It took me under an hour to fully assemble this giant structure. Once built, the structural integrity is breathtaking. It utilizes high-density, CARB-certified particle board that feels incredibly solid, and it even includes an anti-tip kit to anchor it securely to the wall. This absolute dedication to safety gave me complete peace of mind, knowing it would never fall over, regardless of how chaotic playtime became. The tactile experience of the Feandrea tree is simply outstanding. The plush covering is unbelievably dense and soft, providing a cloud-like surface that my cat absolutely adores. The fluffy basket hanging off the side quickly became an absolute favorite place to curl up, offering deep, supportive comfort that molded perfectly to her shape. Additionally, the scratching posts are fully reinforced and wrapped entirely in premium natural sisal, giving her plenty of appropriate places to stretch and file her claws, entirely diverting her attention away from my living room rug. 1. Yaheetech Cat Tree. If you want the ultimate, unparalleled feline entertainment center, there is simply no better option on the market. This towering structure is a complete amusement park, featuring multiple elevated platforms, spacious unclosed condos, a cozy basket, and an ingenious scratching board ramp. The sheer scale and thoughtful design of this tree are immediately apparent, offering a comprehensive, enriching environment that satisfies every single instinct your cat has, from hunting and climbing to scratching and sleeping. The absolute game changer on this tree is the integrated scratching board ramp. Not only does it provide a massive, satisfying surface area for your cat to stretch out and aggressively sharpen their claws, but it also brilliantly doubles as a ladder. This is an incredible feature for older cats, young kittens, or cats with mobility issues, allowing them to easily access the higher levels of the tree without straining themselves. The plush material covering the rest of the tree is incredibly thick, luxurious, and completely resilient, showing absolutely no signs of wear, shedding, or balding even after months of intense daily use. The engineering and build quality of the Yaheetech are utterly flawless. The high-quality particle board construction feels monumentally dense and secure, providing a rock-solid foundation that genuinely refuses to wobble. I have seen multiple cats launch themselves onto this tree simultaneously, chasing each other up and down the levels, and the structure absorbs the impact with majestic grace. It also includes a robust wall anchor strap for maximum safety, ensuring that this towering feline fortress remains perfectly upright and stable under the most chaotic and energetic circumstances imaginable.